Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Monadrose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. We're going to talk about Big Brother live feeds for the past, I don't know when the last time I did a video was. I think day before yesterday. As soon as I stopped watching to start filming, all hell broke loose. We have got so much that has gone on. I don't know how long this video is going to last, but it's probably going to be longer than my other ones, but there's so much information. Alright, if you do not want any spoilers, watch tonight's episode before you watch this video. That being said, let's jump right in. As I said, as soon as I stopped to film my last video, all hell broke loose in the house. Thought I knew exactly what was going on, and if this season has taught me anything, it's that I never know what's going on. Even watching the live feeds, I never know what's going on. These house guests change their mind. If you are literally not glued to those live feeds 24/7, you have no clue what's going on from the time you sign out to the time you sign back in. So, let's get started. Alright, Sari is talking to Mimi, and she's explaining that she forgot who was in the 7-person alliance with her and Jag. She's explaining that she was talking to Jag, and, you know, because Jag's on the bottom of their alliance. He's, after Cameron, he's the next to go. So she's talking to Mimi, and she's telling Mimi, girl, I was talking to Jag, and I completely forgot who was in our alliance. I said 6, and it was actually 7, and I can't remember who's in the alliance. It's me and Jared and Felicia and you, and Mimi said, I don't know what alliance you're talking about. That must be another 7, because I'm not in one with you and Jag. So, red flag to Mimi, and she played it off. She didn't get mad or anything. She just said, oh, I'm not in that alliance with you. I don't know which alliance you're talking about, but that ain't our 7. So she realizes that Sari is in another alliance, which she suspected, but Sari just sloppily told it all. And I think everything going on this week has a lot to do with the lack of food that they're getting. They're not used to eating slop. And they are on the last day of slop. At midnight tonight, they are able to eat a meal. So they're all not on their best behavior at all. So then America's talking to Bowie. And about Izzy, and that there's no house, and that she's tired of hearing the word house, that everybody's got to decide who they're going to vote out. And Bowie said, I agree, they just don't ever want to say it. She's like, I don't know what the big deal is. She's like, why can't people just be honest about who they're going to vote for? Corey tells Izzy that Cameron's pitch to everyone is that Izzy is a more dangerous player than Sari. Which is true. She's got a better relationship than anybody in the house, with everybody in the house. She's probably going to win a few comps. I didn't realize this about Izzy, but she has all of the Big Brother comps at her house and practices them regularly. Evidently, it's been a lifelong dream of hers to get on Big Brother. So she is a much dangerous player than Felicia. And Jared says, I think America needs to go before Cameron. And Izzy said, don't say that shit to me, bro. And Corey says his list is Cam, Jag, and then America. Jared tells Corey that Cameron's coming for him. Corey says, oh, I know. If I win HOH, Cameron will be backdoored. Jared tells Corey and Izzy that Cameron wants to act like we were mad at each other. He wants Jared to act like Cameron's mad at Jared because he didn't use the veto and he ruined his backdoor plan to vote out Blue so that he could separate them. So then they can separate themselves a little bit on both sides of the house and get information. So Jared tells Corey and Izzy this. Alright, now Izzy's on the block. You think she's campaigning, right? She meets with Bowie. And it was a 101 and how not to get to stay in the Big Brother house. A surefire way to get voted out. That was her conversation with Bowie. Izzy was very snarky. She's very condescending, very rude to Bowie, basically calling Bowie out on working with Cameron. And just overall was just a real bitch to her, to be honest. I watched that conversation and I couldn't even write half of it because I was sitting there with my mouth open going, Izzy, what in the hell are you doing? Unless she just thought, well, I don't have Bowie's vote anyway. But she went about that all wrong. Bowie said, well, I thought, she says, you got a beef with me? I heard you got a beef with me. And Bowie said, I don't have a beef with you. She said, I thought we squashed it. But evidently, when I walk up or I walk into a room, y'all's conversation stops. So, evidently, I'm in a one-man alliance. And it's quite, how did she say, it's quite freeing. I don't have to worry about who I talk to. I can talk to who I want to talk to. And I don't have to answer to anyone. Y'all did me a favor. This conversation was very uncomfortable. I was like, Bowie's not backing down. Bowie is tired of Izzy's shit. She's tired of Felicia's shit. She's tired of Cerie's shit. She's just getting tired of them talking to her any kind of way. And she's snapping back. And she says, I have to talk to Cameron about what we're going to do since he's the HOH. And she said, but everybody's going to be talking to him because they're not going to talk to me as usual. And Bowie tells Izzy that Felicia said Cirie and Izzy were going to put her up as a pawn. So I heard that y'all were going to put me up as a pawn. So, you know, what's up with that? And I mean, they just go back and forth the whole time. It was very uncomfortable conversation. I don't think anything got squashed. I don't think anything got handled. I think that it's probably a situation like it is with Cam and Izzy. They just don't like each other. They're never going to like each other. It doesn't matter what happens. It's the way it is. Cirie and Cameron talk. And remember, 2 days, Cirie's been tied up in that tandem kayak with Felicia, so she couldn't talk any kind of game. So she's making up for it. She goes to talk to Cameron. They bullshit each other back and forth about what happened with Red and what's going on for the week and everything. And of course, both of them were saying, I'm not going to bullshit you. I respect you too much for that. I'm going to be honest with you and upright, but they're still bullshitting each other. And Cameron says, look, I'm just going to tell you like it is. I want Izzy gone. I want Izzy gone hard. I know that's your girl. I know that's your best friend. But that's what I want. And if y'all are stupid enough to leave her in this game, y'all are the dumbasses, not me. And he's like, I'm slowly finding out what happened with Red and why he was so mad at me. And y'all took my best friend and y'all lied to him and y'all monsterized him to come against me and turned him into a monster and so that he could come after me. And y'all don't understand, that wasn't just game. Red and I had plans outside this house. We had business we were going to go into together. We were actually friends. And the lies and the manipulation of the game came in between that. And Suri apologizes to him for any part that she might have played in it, but she kind of plays it off too, that was Jared's decision, He says, I know I was the backdoor plan for last week. I know I was supposed to go instead of Red. And Suri's like, well, I don't know about all that. And she's still bullshitting me. All right, so the next conversation we see is between Jag and Jared. And Jag tells Jared that America doesn't trust him and that she's coming for Jared if she gets HOH. Jared said, I know that. I've already heard that. Not a big deal. Yada, yada, yada. The next conversation is between America and Cam. And America talks to Cam and tells him that Blue can't be trusted and that she's not voting to vote out Izzy. That she's voting to vote out Felicia. And Cameron's convinced it's going to be an 8-1 vote. That Izzy's going to be voted out. And America said, you're not going to change Suri's mind. And she tells Cam, and she's like, Suri told Izzy she was the target. And they're working to have her stay. America tells Cameron what happened with Red. She comes out and tells him that Red was told that Cameron went up to the HOH, which was Jared at the time, and said that he would go on, he knew that Red had to go, and then he would go on the block against him as a pawn to ensure that Red went home. And Cameron said, that's not at all what happened. He said, Jared told me that he was putting me up as a pawn, or that he was putting me on the block. He said, I never offered to go up against Red. I would never do that. So now Cameron knows exactly what happened to Red, why Red was pissed at him, and who all was involved in that. And he is pissed. He keeps telling everybody, y'all don't understand. It wasn't just a game. Red and I had a friendship outside this house. We had plans outside this house. Y'all broke up a friendship. So he's pretty pissed off about it. America fills him in on everything. Now, he doesn't want to believe it. And he keeps telling her, no. She said, Cam, you were the target last week. Red wasn't the target. Red went home because you won Power of Veto. And Cam's like, no, Jared wouldn't do that to me. She said, I'm telling you, yes, he would. And he would have if you had not have won the veto. And Cam just keeps saying no, and America keeps saying yes. And finally, Cam sits there for a minute, and he's like, well, Corey did come up to me afterwards and asked me if I felt like I had to win that Power of Veto. So that makes sense now. And she said, exactly. She said, I'm telling you, this whole house was going to vote you out if you had not have won that veto. She's trying to convince him not to trust Jared. She's telling him that Jared's playing on the other side, that he's using Cam to get information, that he is with Izzy and Suri. And I think she's finally making him realize I've been freaking played. as much as I dislike Cameron and I think he's an asshole, he's just realizing that he's not as close to Jared as he thought. He thought Jared was his number one. And he's finding out now that Jared is not his number one. And that Jared's been lying to him and feeding him shit the whole time. He says, so how do we move forward? And America says, not with them, obviously. And Cam says, where is Corey? She said, he's in the middle. She said, Jared doesn't trust America. He doesn't trust him because him and America are getting closer. And Cam is thinking, his mind is working. He said, I think that we should go with you and Corey, Bowie, me, and possibly Jag. They talk about that. They throw it back. America said, don't say anything right now. Let me talk to Corey and see if I can get things moving or whatever. He said, I'll talk to Jag. She said, all right. So she leaves out of the HOH room. And Cameron is just sitting there looking up at the monitor, but you can tell that his brain is moving. And he's rethinking things. And you can tell that he starts realizing, son of a bitch, I've been played. I'm not in the position that I thought I was in. I am at the bottom of the house. I will be backdoored next week. I'm getting ready to turn this house on its head. And that's exactly what he does with his minions. So the next scene that you see is Corey talking to Suri and says, if anyone in the house is not planning on targeting Cameron, they're stupid. He's like, that's just got to be the plan next week. I don't care who it is. He's like, that dude's got to go. The next conversation is between Cameron and Corey. And Cameron says that Jared and he says, I know you can tell that yours and Jared's relationship has deteriorated over the last couple of weeks, right? And Corey said, yeah, it has. And he said, and you know why that is, because he wants you away from America. And he doesn't trust you because of America. He said that he's coming for you in America. He's going to put both of y'all up on the block. And Corey said, I don't know if I believe that. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, that's exactly what he told me he was going to do. That he was going after America and that you were going to be right there on the block with her. So that if either one of you won the veto, the other one would go home. I'm telling you. And Corey's like pacing the whole time, and you can tell that he's nervous. And Cameron said, me, you, and America, we're the top targets. Add Matt and Jag, and we have the majority. And Bowie. And then the next conversation is between Cameron and Jag. And Cameron's been telling everybody this. He's like, look, I'm not going to be duped on Thursday. If Felicia goes home and y'all think it's one more socket to me on the way out, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be duped if Felicia goes home. Y'all are going to be the dumbasses for leaving Izzy in this game. Because she is a far more dangerous player than Felicia. So y'all are going to be the dumbasses, not me. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, what I'm telling you, plain and simple, is if you don't vote out Izzy, you're dumb. Corey pitches the Corey, America, Cam, and Jag, and Matt. He tells him that he can't count on Jared or Blue. Jag confirms that Cameron needed to win the veto to stay. Cameron said, I know I was the target last week. I know I had to win that veto. I know they were trying to backdoor me. Or they were trying to get me out. I know I was the target. And Jag agrees and confirms it. Cameron says, the two people who have run this whole game, and Jared from the beginning, So he's saying Sari, Izzy, and Jared, they're a threesome. They've run the whole game since the beginning. He keeps saying they have made big moves from their beds and been comfortable and yada, yada, yada. He says he doesn't trust Blue. He knows she's playing them. He said he doesn't trust Blue. He knows that she's been playing Jag the same way Jared's been playing him. So Blue's supposed to be working on Jag and Jared's supposed to be working on Cameron. So they're starting to realize the dynamics of the house. I'm wondering, because Cam's agreeing with him, so I'm wondering, is Cam going to tell anybody about this? Is he going to leave the HOH room and go right down and report to the 7 deadly sins, which they've already met, minus Izzy, Felicia, and Mimi? The rest of them, actually, no, Mimi's not in it, minus Izzy and Felicia. The 7 deadly sins met, except for those 2. And they already said they're going to keep Izzy. Cam said, if I leave, who do you think they're going to concentrate on next? You're going to be the next target. And they have said that. They have said that once Cam is out, that they're going to go after Jag. So Matt, Jag, Sari, Blue, and Jared, they all meet. 7 deadly minus Izzy and Felicia. And they decide they're going to keep Izzy and they're going to wait to tell Felicia until tonight after everyone's eaten. They don't want to ruin the good atmosphere of everybody getting to eat real food by letting Felicia know that she's going home, so they're going to wait till afterwards to tell her. Cameron tells Blue the same thing. Look, I'm not going to be duped if it's Felicia that goes home on Thursday. Y'all are going to be the dumbasses for leaving her in the house. Cameron talks to Felicia, and this was this morning. So, I've been quite busy today with the live feeds because it went crazy this morning. So, Felicia's sitting on the couch in the living room, and Cam comes up and sits with her. And he said, so what have you been hearing? She said, I think I have the votes to stay. They're telling me that I'm staying and that Izzy's going home. And he said, well, if they're telling you that, they're lying to you. Plain and simple, you're going home on Thursday. Felicia said, what do you mean? He said, if they're telling you that you're staying and they're telling me that you're staying, then they're lying to both of us. And Izzy's staying and you're going home. And you can sit here on this couch and you can take it, or you can get up and get to work. He says that he knows that Jared is not as close to him as he would have thought. He tells her he knows about Red and what exactly happened. And she said, oh, really, what did happen? And so he tells her, well, then she knows that that's what happened. So she's like, oh, okay. And he says that he knows that he was a target last week and that they were upset that Cam didn't, that Jared didn't do the backdoor option for Cam. And she's like, oh, I never told Jared to backdoor you. He said, regardless of whether you told him to or not, you were upset that he didn't. It's neither here nor there. I'm just letting you know that I'm not just bullshitting you, that I know things. And he said, if you really don't want to stay here, just don't believe what I'm saying. You know, other than that, get off the couch, get to work. He leaves. She gets straight up, goes into the scary room where Jag is at, and says, what's up? Just checking in again. I'm hearing I'm the one going home. I just want to know what the thought process is. Well, of course, Jag starts backtracking, and I haven't made up my mind yet, and I haven't talked to anybody yet. You know, I told you last night that we would talk, and I haven't really had that chance to do any of that yet. So as soon as I get to talk to somebody and I figure out what is going on, then I'll let you know. But right now, I don't know. I feel like at that point, he should have came clean and said what his vote was. But as we later found out, it's because he doesn't know yet. Next, she goes to Mimi and Blue in the kitchen. And she said, so Cameron says y'all are lying to me and that I'm the one going home. And Blue said, well, he also said that Jack and I were going on the block and we didn't. He's a liar, so what? Well, of course, Mimi doesn't know anything. At this point, she thinks that Felicia's staying. Everybody's voting out easy. Because nobody's told her any different. So Blue, like, brushes her off and just says he's crazy. He's spouting all kinds of stuff today. Oh my God. It doesn't matter what time of the day I film, I start yawning. And she said, well, I just feel like everybody's waiting on somebody else to say something. Nobody wants to be the first one to say this is who I'm voting out. Somebody needs to make a decision. She leaves, or she told them, oh, also he's on to Jared. Well, Blue's ears perked up. She said, and that he knows a lot and somebody is talking. She said, he's coming after Jared. So, of course, Blue is all ears. But at the same time this is going on, Jared goes up to talk to Kim in the HOH room. He goes in with his glasses on, and he's all cool. Hey, dude, what's up, brother? Da-da-da-da. And says, I don't know what's going on, man. Jack's just trying to pit me and you against each other. Cameron said, oh, really? What are you talking about? Well, he came to me yesterday, and he said that that he knows all about you, and that you're not trusting me now, and that your eyes are open. And he's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just trying to cause a rift between the two of us because he knows we're close. And Cameron says, I only talked to him about Izzy. He says that if Izzy stays, y'all are all dumbasses. That's what I told him. And Cam said, well, it's not the first time that I've been used against someone in conversation. And then Cam says that he knows he's the backdoor plan next week, and that he's okay with it, and they better hope that his name doesn't get pulled to play in the veto, because he's gonna win it. And he understands that he's the number one competitor in the house, and he said everybody knows that I'm the strongest player in the house. And he said, and then Jack. And he said, and guess who's number 3? And Jared said, I don't know, me? And he said, no, Izzy. I just had to die laughing because he just told Jared that Izzy is a stronger player than Jared is. And he's not wrong. Yes, Jared's won a veto. Yes, Jared won a HOH, but both of those he lost by default. The HOH that he won was because Izzy gave the wrong answer. She buzzed in too quickly. The veto that he won was because Matt didn't take it from him, and Matt was the last one. Matt would have been the veto holder. So yes, Jared's won 2 competitions, but they've both been given to him by somebody else. I just thought it was funny that you're telling Jared, which is, I don't know, he's macho guy, whatever. You're telling him that a woman is stronger than him. And I thought it was quite funny. Oh, and he says, and, oh, by the way, Oh, by the way, why did Bowie come up to me and denounce y'all's friendship? Kim said, that's news to me. Everybody's lying to me, man. And Jared said, well, I've always been straight with you and you know it. I've always told you the truth. And Cameron said, well, somebody lied when it came to Red last week and turned him against me. And, you know, whoever that was is a pretty sorry person, because it wasn't just messing with the game. It was messing with the friendship. It was messing with the business we were going to create outside of here. That I really loved that dude. And I thought that he really loved me. And somebody got in between that. And I think it's pretty disgusting. So he's letting Jared know, I got you. I got your number. I'm not playing your game anymore. It's over. The next conversation that we see is between Felicia and America. And America confirms everything that Cam said about her going home. And she's like, they just didn't want to tell you right now. They're planning on telling you later on today. Yada, yada, yada. So now she's got confirmation from Cameron and America that she was planned to go home. So Felicia goes and talks to Jared and Blue. And Jared won't tell her the truth. He's backpedaling. Says, I'm getting tired of everybody in this house. I don't know who's telling the truth, who ain't. I ain't made no decisions. Yada, yada, yada. Just lying straight to her face. Which, like I said, if she already knows, this is the perfect time to say, you know, Miss Felicia, yeah, we've decided that we are going to keep Izzy, and this is why. Instead of trying to continue to lie to her face. Because I'm going to tell you what, she's not going to respect that. And if it keeps going the way it's going, she's got a lot of dirt on everybody in that house that she's probably fixing to spill. He tells her, and you know what you got to get. You know what you got. And Felicia says, well, I thought I knew what I had. But then I also don't know if everybody's lying to me. And they keep going around and around in their conversation. He's not going to give anything up. Blue's silent the whole time. So the next conversation that we see is between Corey and Jag. This is where it gets interesting. Jag had a talk with Cameron. He came out of there, and Corey and America were out in the playroom. And they asked him how it went. He said, well, Cam's made some good points about why Izzy should be the one to go. And he tells Mimi, because she made the mistake of telling Felicia that, yeah, you're going to be the one to go home. And he tells her, he says, I wish you hadn't have done that, because I still haven't made up my mind yet. And Corey says, if you're considering taking out Izzy, I'll consider it too. He's like, we just need Matt. And he said, there's a lot more that I need to tell you. But if you're seriously considering this, we can do this. And Jack says that they have to talk to Matt. And Corey says, yeah, I trust him. I don't want to leave him out of this. So even though he's close to them and he may tell them what's going on, but if he doesn't vote with us, it's still, we have the votes to send Izzy out. And it won't matter. So they believe that Siri, Jared, and Izzy are the final three. That they have a final three. That's what Jack said. And Corey said, I agree. And America said, I agree. She's like, Jared is in with them. She said, it's Jared, Izzy, and Siri. Those three are the core. Along with America's help, I think Cam maybe starting to make the rest of the house see the connection between Siri, Izzy, and Jared. Corey talks to Bowie, and he lets her know that they have the votes, he thinks, to vote out Izzy. They have to talk to Mimi, because Mimi's already said that she's not voting out Felicia, that Felicia has her vote, and she's not changing it. So he's counting her in with that, even though he hasn't talked to her yet. He says, I think we have the votes, Bowie, to do this. And it looks like they may be flipping. I'm watching because I'm waiting for some of these conversations to get back to Suri, or Felicia, or Izzy, or Jared. But so far it hasn't. So Corey and Mimi talk. They go to the have-not room. And Corey spills everything he knows about every alliance that he knows. What happened with the red vote. He knows about the 7-person alliance that he's not part of. So Corey just spills everything. So I know that Izzy, Suri, and Jared are working together, and they've been playing us. They got 2 7-person alliance, one with me in America, and one with you and Matt, or you and Jag. No, you and Matt is what it was. And it's like they're just interchanging people out so that they have everybody in the house. So Corey's in America have figured it out, and Cam. They have figured out the dynamics of the house. So Corey is just regurgitating all of this to Mimi. And he pitches the alliance of America, Felicia, Corey, and Mimi moving forward. With Jag and Matt, we have the majority of the house. Corey's, after he gets through talking and telling her everything that's going on, he says, okay, I've been sitting here telling you and talking to you for 20 minutes now. I want to know what you think. And Mimi says, interesting. And Corey said, oh no, interesting? And she said, no, I mean, listen, I think I've come to a point in this game where, let's just say, I've always been under the guise that no one in this house was trustworthy. And that's never really left me. Although a lot of where I've been has been under necessity. This is an interesting path forward. Should it actually work, I think it's genius. The feeds cuts. Damn it, CBS. They stay off of them for a while. It goes back to America and Cameron saying, don't say any. America's telling Cameron, don't say anything else to Jared, don't say anything else to Suri. We want this to be a blindside. We want to show them what they've been doing to everybody else. This is what we want to do. Then it goes back to Mimi and Corey in the have-not room, and they evidently made a final 2. And the name of that final 2 is the writer's room. And if you haven't watched the live feeds, you haven't really seen it. But Corey and Mimi Sutton, especially when the yard's open, they sit outside and they talk about writers and movies and different things like that. They're both, and school stuff. They're both very, very, very smart. Probably the 2 most intelligent people in the house. So they've had a lot of conversations. So Corey says, I've been thinking about this for a while. Our final 2 should be the writer's room. So Bowie, Jag, America, and Mimi are all in the game room. And they're celebrating. And Bowie says, and you know what's funny is we know their game. We know how they play their game. Let's go. And Mimi says, let's go. She says, my thing is, I'm going to go talk to Suri. I'm going to ask Suri plain out what she's doing and see if she gives me an answer on who she's voting out. And she does. She doesn't say anything about any other conversations that she's had. So that leads me to believe that she's serious about this alliance. Jag has not said anything. Matt has not said anything to Suri, Jared, or Blue up until this point. Izzy, nobody. He hasn't said anything to any of them up until this point. So I think that they are actually serious. I think that they are going to actually flip. They're going to have a blindside of Izzy going home. That's my thoughts right now. Now, it may change. It's probably changed hell since I've been off taping this. They wear me out. When I tell you, they keep me on my damn toes because it's always something. Corey goes to talk to Matt. And he tells him right off the bat, he said, look, I'm voting Izzy out and I'm not changing my mind. And this is why. Starts telling him everything, how Suri and Jared and Izzy have been using them, all of them, and had 2 separate alliances so they could cover everybody in the house. And that he's known about seven deadly sins for the last 3 weeks that Jared told him. And just starts spilling everything to Matt. And that they're all being played and that they're tired of it and that they're going to come together. They're going to vote out Izzy and they're going to take down Suri, Jared, and Izzy. Jag joins the conversation. And I think Matt was kind of skeptical until Jag came in to talk to him. And they actually tag teamed him because it started out Corey. Then Jag talked to him. And then Bowie talked to him. So they stair-stepped it where he's basically talked to everybody except for Mimi to get him on board. So the group will be Jag, Corey, America, Mimi, Bowie, and Matt. None of them want to work with Cameron. Every single one of them have said they don't want to work with Cameron. So probably coming this week, Cameron's still probably going to be a target. Unless America or Corey get it. Well, I don't see Corey going after Suri or Jared. But if America or Bowie get it, if they get HOH this week, it could be a very interesting week. But we shall see how that plays out. They haven't come up with a name or anything like that. They're basically just all going to work together and get Izzy out and then go from there. Jag tells Matt that he's been telling him for a long time that he couldn't trust Suri. And he said Blue can't be trusted either. Jag said they have lied to us. We were playing honest with them. And he's talking about within the group what was best for the group. And they've been lying to us the whole time. And I'm like, wow. Okay. I don't know what day this is. Day 40-something. And they're going to start playing Big Brother. Who'd have thunk it? So, hopefully, if everything, I don't say hopefully, because I've got mixed feelings. I don't really want to see Izzy go, but I don't want to see Felicia go either. I like the friendship between Suri and Izzy. The fact that she knows about Jared and Suri and she hasn't spilt it yet tells me that she's a very loyal person. So we'll see how that goes when if she finds out that she's going home come Thursday night. And she may spill a bunch of stuff. So we'll see. So it is Wednesday night. I have not watched tonight's episode yet. I'm going to. And then tomorrow night I will be back on after we find out who won HOH. And see where this next week may be taking us. As the BB house turns, Lord have mercy, these people are wearing me out. That's what I have for you guys. For right now, I will see you back here Thursday night after the episode, after I find out who won HOH, and we'll go from there. Leave me a comment in the section. What do you think about this new twist? Do you think, or not a new twist, but the new turn of events for this new group to be working together and them voting out Izzy instead of Felicia. We'll see how it goes. Until next time, guys, as always, much love.